Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I'm like,
And today we're cracking open a new bottle or semi-new bottle, Grey Coast Irish Whiskey.
you could have fudged that one.
We could have because they couldn't see the top. So this is actually a bottle that comes courtesy of Superfan on the channel, Steve. This is actually his first and only Irish that he's ever bought. So this one comes in at 80 proof. He got it for $29.99. So this supposedly is a collaboration between golfer Graham McDowell and the family-owned Bowen Distiller, which is located just north of Dublin, Ireland. So they had a little quote on there that says, "Grey Coast is a representation of me and my life, from overseeing every aspect of the brand and doing numerous tastings to make this unique blend just right." He goes, "It works hard to ensure that this whiskey reflects who I am and couldn't be happier with the results." So that was what Graham had said all about his whiskey. So it did say that it was imported because it's made out there in Ireland, but it is imported with the Prestige Beverage Group in Mendota Heights, Minnesota.
It said, too, doesn't it say it's second barrel of oak staves or something like that?
I don't know. I'm not the bottle reader.
I did.
Finished in American oak casks.
Okay, so.
But that's what most of them are finished in anyways, I do believe, because they don't use new, they use old, like bourbon casks or sherry casks, you know what I mean? Usually, oops. Hey, Steve, I'm giving him a lot of your stuff today.
I was going to say, getting spoiled.
I forgot it was Steve's bottle over here, but yeah, we did this a million years ago, me and Steve, so I can't even tell you what, this has been on our shelf longer than some of our bottles have been on our shelf. What's the matter? You're like, ooh.
Yeah, because I was thinking something totally different. And it
Elaborate. Bring it on out. What are you thinking?
It brought me not even to the Irish land. Kind of
took
a little hook there.
Now, I know people have been schooling me on this, and I'm getting better. I am getting better, and the more I keep drinking them, because I have been drinking a lot more Scotch lately. So I went back to like the classic laddie. We'll take that one for example. That we thought was peated, but it's not. It's the malt that's really giving you So now that I've understood the fact that it's not the taste of the malt, we actually got to go out and get. I thought this the other day. As much as I don't want to, we really got to go get like a really peated one. So then we know the contrast of bring in the Band-Aids again and stuff, because we haven't had one.
Ardbeg.
Ardbeg is it's an island one. That's what Isla. You took 4 years of Spanish. You should know this. But you definitely get that
Isla's
heavy.
From Ardbeg?
No, Isla is island.
There is an Isla out there. And Kevin
the name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm not big on the Scotch, so I could.
He's like, yeah, go get that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're not really selling it. This has been a long nose.
He's afraid to drink it. Honestly, you really get that malty taste. So now that I figured out what I'm actually tasting, I know what you're saying with the Scotch, because that's what you attribute a non-peated Scotch has a similar palate. You know what I mean? You really get that single malt, the heavy malted barley, but you're not getting that Band-Aid taste. Like I haven't said Band-Aid in a while.
The taste did shine better than the nose right off the bat. Would I call this a Scotch though? With the nose, it's going to throw me probably.
No, right. It's what I remember of like the two stacks. Or what I remember, kind of a little bit of the like the Bushmills, kind of brought that same palate a little bit less. I think it's a little less.
On Donegal kind of went that way a little bit as well, but
and that white one too that I can never remember the name on. There was one white bottle that we had. It was like you look at it and it looked like new make. It was crystal clear white. Color wise, I mean, to look at it, you wouldn't. You know, it's got a decent. Color
you'll
to
be
it.
deceived, but as soon as you see the nose, you know you're in one or two places.
Mm-hmm.
Just
stand by for that, because we got to start getting some American single malts to just throw a wrench in the system.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Once I figured out with that little Fox one or whatever when I bought, I go right by that single malt.
No, but that's good for our game when we do them, just because of the it throws. It's not you're not automatically going to Scotch.
No,
you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's going to make it harder. Again, the more like Steve and I was drinking these not the last time he was here, but the time before that. And when you start on them, and I kind of like these. I don't mind these. I mean, granted, I do love the taste of bourbon, and I do like that better. But when you're drinking these, I don't hate them.
This it drinks easy, but it does seem to linger.
Mm-hmm.
And it for an 80 proofer, it will probably make a good mixer. It just
who mixes these things? You think I don't know. I guess
so
I don't know anyone.
A lot of them do mix it, and a lot of them add water.
Well, I get
the Irishmen that I know, they add water to them.
They're not true Irishmen.
Let me bring one over.
Yeah, I know. I know you always say that all the time, but no, I hear you. You drink it anyway you like to drink it. It really doesn't matter. But I get that. I mean, I understand. I mean, for the longest time, I just threw the shit on ice cubes and guzzled it down. You know, get it cold and get it in you type of deal. Like, you know what I mean? There was no.
I am usually 99%. It's either scorching hot or it's cold, and that's not whiskey. Whatever I drink, it's going to be really hot,
like real hot, or real
it's going to be really cold. Right. I don't like, especially any kind of flavored anything. Water I can handle mediocre, but other than that, like you make a tea, and if it gets lukewarm, then I either got to put ice in it or it's going. Sorry for that.
No, that's fine. I'm trying to relate this to something. I mean, we haven't done an Irish like this in the longest time. It does bring you on the border of Scotch. I get that. It kind of is what reminded me of the Bushmills on that same aspect, because it still had that like heavy malty taste.
I do remember Bushmills, and it was not my favorite.
No, you shot it right down right off the bat. You really did.
This one, it seems milder,
and it might be. It might be again. That's.
Do I want a Sunday Fun Day of either one of them? But it may be coming.
We're gonna start doing Scotch week. All week Scotches, right until you finally find one you like.
That could be a costly week.
Dude, I know they're not cheap. There's a lot of them not cheap.
You know that in Japanese.
No, there's some crazy bottles out of that too. There are. I mean, I don't have a lot of comparisons to say this. I kind of like it. I don't mind this at all. It definitely takes you out of the bourbon land, and it definitely brings you more towards Scotch than it does. Like, because
I guess
this doesn't taste like Jameson. Let's put it that way. Jameson doesn't have that malty flavor. It just doesn't have that. You know,
it really doesn't.
It doesn't. So, I mean, this brings more to what I remember the two stacks tasting like. What I remember in the beginning we thought
if I remember,
it was peated.
I want to say some Talamadu might go this way.
Interesting theory. Wish I'd known that, because just so happened to have one of those. So
you didn't get the cute one though.
Hey, beggars can't be choosers. That was our first full donation. We're gonna have to put a celebration on that.
Right.
So
that's all right.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but here it comes. You know what I mean? But no, that's our first full. Other than, don't get me wrong, Steve and Jimmy have let us borrow their bottles and stuff like that, but we give them back to them. This is I mean, first non. They did send over, but we weren't doing anything back then. So I'm going to make a celebration out of this one because it's our first full bottle donation from someone. So
great, thank you.
You will see on that one when it comes out. But I've never had Talamadu. We've had a sign. I've had a sign for years hanging on my wall. I'm looking at it right now, but I
did say we could put it back there to try just change up views. He's like, nope.
No, I've still never drank it, so not going to happen. But there you go. We can keep this short and sweet. I actually like this a lot. So, but if you're an Irish drinker and this is not a Jameson, this brings me more towards like the two stacks or I can't think of that other one.
The price range is
Donegal's a good one.
Is really close to a lot of them. It's definitely not a Powers.
Well, you had I never had it, but you had Conor McGregor's. Did it have that malty flavor?
Not as bad. I didn't see. Well, again, that went down
on ice luge and stuff like
so
that. I've never.
By the time it got to me, it was probably basically half water.
Right. Yeah. No, I never had his either. So I really don't have a reference to it. I do like this.
I want to get punches too.
I missed the ers on that one. It's just like no, asking you shoes. How we see you, but I want to get punched. All right, but Grey Coast. The problem being, it always comes back to the 80 proof. I've never seen it, but I don't go in the Irish section a lot. You know what I
I
mean?
have to go by it usually. There's the sections that I got to go, and I do look.
There's zero fight on this. I guess that would be my biggest problem. This would be like, you know what I mean? Like if this was my drink of the
Minus
night,
peat.
but there's no peat.
Or malt, minus the malt.
Right.
I don't know. Not for me. For me, this is like a slow drinker because it's not my favorite.
And see, once I adapt to the fact and I know what I'm drinking, the problem was I woke up on the couch one night because they were all 80 proofers, and I went through all of our Scotch collection, and the next thing you know, I was like, what just hit me? Because it was like, whoop.
Oh, they do all that, huh?
They all just go right down, right down, right down. Next thing you know, I was like, I was drinking 80
See,
proofers.
I could make this one last.
No. See, these I'm fighting it because it's not our bottle. Because I don't mind this flavor when
I'm good.
Yeah, I know you don't care for it, but again, I used to drink Inverhouse
I know
on the rocks. You know what I mean? And I didn't mind that either because once you acclimate to that, I was like, whoop, that's good.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
there you go. Grey Coast. Again, if you have any Irish or something that we haven't done a very lot of them, so. This was just happened to be Steve's like, I bought an Irish. I was like, awesome. And he actually, he liked it because it did drink. He tried the Bushmills right after it. And he's like, nope, like mine better. I'm like,
I might say he's probably
is
right
what
on
he
that
said when we did it. I can remember that on that day. So
because I remember that one being like more harsh, more.
I don't remember it being harsh and all. I remember it being like this.
Harsh. No, but I had more of that
malty flavor. Yeah. So, well, there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.
Subscribe.